What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the second episode of the Concast. I'm here joined with Imran and Umzad. We're missing Azar today. He's currently on a flight back to Toronto, but we still got to knock this one off for y'all. We're going to get started off with the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and we're going to start with Saturday's game by the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Houston Texans. The Chiefs.
Big game.
What happened to this guy, yo?
Oh, man.
The Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Houston Texans, winning 23-14. The Chiefs hold on after a slow start to advance to their seventh straight championship game, continuing their dominant run as usual. For the Chiefs, it was Kelsey back to his winning ways, posting over 100 yards and a touchdown this game, while poor special teams play from the shorthanded Houston Texans held the Texans back. What stood out most to you guys in this game?
Yeah, I mean, what's most to me in this game is that the Chiefs went off to a little bit of a rusty start to begin the game with, especially having good field position on the first two drives, which only led to only two field goals.
Field goals, yeah.
Yeah, two field goals. Yeah, the officiating on the other hand, oh my God, do not get me started with that. It's like you can't even poke somebody and they gonna fall down and you gonna still get rough in the passer call or some kind of ridiculous penalty.
It's like a, it's just like
Like,
a wrestling referee coming in from the back.
yeah, man, tell me about it, bro. Like, it's very ridiculous, man. Like Mahomes was even trying to draw a penalty with a little shove out of bounds. He's flopping in the air like this, like he's LeBron James in the NBA
Like,
playing the
he,
NBA.
play,
For
he
God's
plays for
sakes.
Juventus. He plays
Yeah.
soccer.
Yeah, man. Even the ESPN commentators were sounding so fed up. You should have seen Troy Aikman and Joe Buck's reactions. And especially that rough in the passer call on Will Anderson on 3rd and 12. Like the Chiefs would have had a fourth down, had to punt the ball.
Yeah, that's
And next thing you know, they got
extremely crucial penalty in that drive.
yeah. And that
Anything,
other
anything Patrick Mahomes embellishes, he gets his call. He gets his way.
Man.
and the thing is it's always been a thing. So I mean it doesn't come to as a surprise to me too. And the thing is as well too, the one call when Mahomes was a runner, you're able to tackle him, he slides down. The two Texans player hit each other and they get called for unnecessary
I know.
roughness. Like what the
And he
hell,
looks
bro?
back at the referee as he's on the ground.
He
Like,
looks he looks like everyone
like
looks
they
like
did something wrong.
throw the flag, man. Come
Yeah.
on, man. This is
That's how,
ridiculous. But
that's how the game
but
goes, man. That's how the game
yeah,
goes.
that's how it goes. But you know what, man? Especially with all those questionable officiating, the offensive line was horrible for the Texans. Yeah, they need to invest in a new offensive line in next season. They sacked C.J. Stroud 8 times and hit him 14 times. And you know
Yeah.
what? The run game, yeah, as I said, Nico Collins and Joe Mixon had to get it going early, and they
They
did their
tried.
thing. I mean,
They tried. They
yeah,
tried.
they tried. They really tried their best. And the KC run defense was very concerning because they gave up 95 rushing yards in the first half, and which allocated to 100 and almost 150 rushing yards with like 5.1 yards per carry. And going up against the Bills' rush offense, it's going to be tough, especially with them being in the top 10. But KC's defense throughout this year and this whole game, it's always been helping them out get through the wings. Steve Spagnuolo's defense always comes through, and even though Houston outperforms KC on the paper statistically, especially with throwing up no turnovers, they still couldn't get it for them. And special teams is what caused them as well too. A missed field goal, the blocked field goal, and the special teams giving up a 63-run kick return to begin the game as well too. So
And
it's a little bit of both.
the
But
first possession by
in the
special
first
teams,
possession, yeah.
you
That's
can't
what
say
Yeah,
happens
that.
yeah,
when you
yeah.
get. That's what happens when you play a championship caliber team. They'll
Yeah,
always
it's
find a way to win the game.
it's so funny because in the last episode, Amzad was like, "Oh, how the Chiefs once the Texans step into Arrowhead Stadium, they're gonna be shaking." And first possession,
Right.
dropping the ball. Yeah,
Right. It's
Yeah.
tough area to
But
play.
hey, the
But
Chiefs
Buffalo,
almost gave up that they almost gave up that ball though. They
yeah.
yeah,
almost gave up the ball. They fumbled the ball, so that's another thing too.
It looked like
But
they only played at 80% anyway.
yeah.
They don't look like they gave their full effort. But that's what
but you
happens
know what?
is when you underestimate a team, sometimes it can backfire and mess you up, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the thing is as well too, like yeah, we know Kelsey and Mahomes rekindled their connection. You know, as Asif was saying, Kelsey had game highs of 7 catches, 117 yards, and a score. And but the thing is too, Xavier Worthy was the only Chiefs player to record a reception in that game.
Yeah.
Juju Smith, Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins were nowhere to be found, and that cannot slide next week against the Bills.
That kind of gets me into the next thing. Like we saw Stroud and Mixon and them boys take care of the ball. Obviously, some rough performances by the special teams, but as Imran alluded to earlier, do you think the officiating cost the Texans a chance at this game?
I don't think so at
You
all.
don't you don't think so? Even like but the thing is
Regardless,
too
the game's gonna
but the
go the way the game goes. You got to play the game. The ref's gonna make bad calls every game. There's always gonna be one bad call, and you can't let it depict your victory or your loss.
No, but the thing is too, the positioning where the Chiefs were in, that cost them, that turned the outcome of the game. You had 3rd and 12, and you get called for a penalty. That's automatic first down. It gives them 3 more tries
Yeah, but
instead of getting.
Can't
that
give a guy
happens
like
every
that
game.
more ammunition.
Yeah, but that happens every game, and you can't really blame the ref too. When you have the ball, you're gonna have to score, and if you don't score, you're not gonna win.
Yeah. Well, penalties and everything aside, the Chiefs are advancing to their seventh straight game and are gonna head to a matchup with the soon-to-be Bills, which we'll talk about in a bit. Moving into the next game, we're gonna talk about the six-seeded Washington Commanders pulling off the ginormous upset
Oh,
against
jeez.
our rooting for Lions, as I see a Red's reaction to that one. Jalen Daniels upset the top seed Lions, the sixth rookie quarterback since 1999 to make a conference championship game. Definitely the biggest upset of the weekend and one that none of the four of us predicted coming into this one. Almost double-digit underdogs still found a way to come up with it. You talk about costly turnovers by the Lions with Goff and Jameson Williams throwing an interception, and the depleted defense with all the injuries given up, crushing 45 points to the Commanders. Take it away, Imran. I see a disappointment on your face. What are you thinking?
Oh man, tell me about it, man. Sorry, Motor City, we won't be seeing you this year, maybe next year, but it's not. Things are gonna start having. There are gonna be a lot of changes going down for the Lions. But yeah, the Lions, man, they couldn't. The pass rush defense, they couldn't keep Daniels off the field. Converted on 75% of 4th downs, and especially a costly 12th man on the field. Penalty that led to a touchdown on 3rd and 5. I believe the Lions got to invest in healthy and better pass rushers, which something is to look to invest in next season. Knuckles was back. He didn't play as he would usually play. He had David Montgomery, 7 carries, 28 rushing yards, but he did have a 20-yard flick pass, which is pretty cool to see. But yeah, everybody else on the other hand played pretty good. I mean, offensive players like Gibbs, St. Brown, Laporta, even Jameson Williams, apart from the interception, they all played extremely well. But the defense couldn't stop Daniels. He looked cool, calm, and collected. And Jared Goff, on the other hand, well, the Rams are probably glad they got rid of him because he threw 3 picks. He had one in the end zone, led to a pick. He had another one that led to a pick six. He
The real
fumbled the
Jared,
ball, and I
the
mean,
real Jared Goff came back.
yeah, he definitely came back. Yeah, and he took that vicious hit. He took that vicious hit
Yeah, he
before
got smoked,
halftime.
and he looked like he was
Smoked.
never
Do
the
you guys think? Do
same.
you guys think that? Do you guys think that should have been a rough in the passer penalty?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah,
No.
he was a
Okay.
blocker. He
He was
turned
a
into a
blocker.
blocker, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You become a
Okay.
blocker, you are just free pickings.
Jameson Williams, as you said, scoring, getting an interception as well
I
too.
can't believe they even let him throw the ball.
Yeah.
Like what?
We could
Yeah,
talk.
At that times of the game, you can't be trying things.
yeah, but the thing is too, St. Brown. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown that's usually doing those trick plays. He's had one or two of those throughout the year, and
Yeah,
it's
he's had a
succeeded.
passing
Yeah,
touchdown this year.
you know, if you're
Yeah,
gonna
he got
let
a pass.
somebody try, you gotta let him try.
Yeah. I mean, that's
You
how the
can't let
lines
them
have been.
play that. I know you've been practicing that play for months. They probably practicing. They probably practice all week that play. But at the same time, it's just a tough position to try things like that in that state of the game.
This is really how the lines have played all year. I mean, Dan Campbell has been drawing up some calls that you wouldn't even think. Let's look at the drive of that Jared Goff was out for. Teddy Bridgewater came in the game, and they had like a little double handoff going from, I believe it was St. Brown to Jameson Williams, who
Yeah.
took it all the way. I think it was 60 yards. So, I
They
mean,
scored a
Yeah, 60
touchdown with
yards, man.
Bridgewater on the
yeah,
field.
it definitely plays the unique offense of the Lions. But we could talk about the Lions offensive guys, Gibbs, St. Brown. We all know they did their thing. But I think this game was more about the rising play of Jalen Daniels.
Oh, Jalen Daniels.
What did you think of Daniels' performance?
Oh, My boy pulled it off. He pulled it against the whole world.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of the world had him written off.
He really, yeah.
He played tough. He played smart. They played smart football.
Right.
They limited their mistakes. They stuck to what they were good at, and you know what? It worked out for them. Good for them, you know. Great opportunity
Yeah,
for them to go to Philly. Who knows? The division game,
Washington beat them a couple weeks ago, so in Philly,
right?
so see how it goes.
Who knows?
yeah.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. I mean, the
Smart
one
and
thing I
Mind you,
think
lightning
does
strike.
Hurts didn't
You
play
know,
that
lightning
day. He
doesn't
played the
strike
rest of the
twice in the
game.
same spot, but
yeah.
you know, we'll see what happens.
The one thing that stood
Yeah,
out
I
to
mean,
Daniels with me is he just looked like he did not look like a rookie out there. He looked like somebody who's been doing this for years. The poise, the calmness, the ability to lead his boys was unbelievable. So yeah, I'll give Daniels a lot of credit for this one.
total 350 yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't even take, not one single sack was taken. I don't even think he
Wow.
turned the ball over either.
No.
Right?
Out of all
Yeah,
the
he didn't turn the
quarterbacks
ball
this
over.
week that played, I think he played the best.
Yeah,
He
absolutely.
he is the best quarterback remaining in the NFL playoffs right now, even
I
throughout
don't
the
know
whole
about
playoffs.
I don't know about all that. He's playing.
No,
He's
no,
playing
he
He's the
very
is the
best.
well.
best quarterback right now.
Uh,
He
oh,
is the best quarterback right now in this
oh,
playoffs.
oh.
Oh, he's going
I
against
think
Jalen Hurts.
I think
He's still got Josh
I think
Allen.
Imran is waiting for the other game that we about to talk to after this. But as much as a high powered game it was, and we're gonna look back at this Lions season as an extreme disappointment after getting the first seed against the 49ers in the championship game, and this year getting bounced out in their first playoff game. Does this close with the two departures of the two coordinators for the Lions? I believe Ben Johnson just got a job today. Does this Lions team with this core championship window close after that loss?
I
I
don't think
think
so.
they're still. I don't think so. I think they're still a playoff team, but I don't think they will have that much success maybe next year, especially with Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn getting jobs elsewhere. So if those two coordinators are back next year, maybe they will play a
Ben
whole lot
Johnson got a
better.
job today, I believe.
Oh, he got a job. I know he was interviewing today, but I'm not sure if he got a job today or not. Better.
Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, he's with the Bears. Yeah,
He's officially with the Bears now. Okay,
yes,
okay,
sir.
yeah.
So
So
that's
He
something for
went
us
to
to
the
talk about
Hawks.
in a bit. He went to the other
yeah, so
division.
it's gonna be tough for them to get back into that playoff seeding, especially winning 15 games, which is a
Yeah,
franchise record. I mean, everybody said the NFC North was probably the most top division in the playoffs or all of football throughout this year, but it looks like it's the NFC East, man.
as every Lions fan could say, and a lot of viewers around the NFL, that was definitely a failure of a season for the Lions, and they're gonna have to make some decisions going into next season, especially with their coordinators.
Yeah, one and done.
Now we're gonna move into the Sunday games. We're gonna have the number 2 seed Eagles hosting the LA Rams. The Eagles took this one 28-22. Saquon Barkley leads the way once again for the Eagles and continues their dominance on the ground. Costly turnovers by Stafford and Kyron Williams, the two Rams offensive stars.
They had a chance, man. They had a chance.
Kind of cost them the game. So the biggest question to me is, as we saw, the main takeaway from this game to me, I think I did take the Eagles to go into this game and take care of business. But the main question to me once again is the dynamic between Hurts, Devontae Smith, and AJ Brown combining for low day through the air. Despite this Eagles putting up 28 points and coming away with the win at home, they were unable to get it going. Um, what are the Eagles going to have to do to continue their march in the playoffs?
They're
They're
gonna
just
still
gonna have
have
to,
to run the ball.
yeah, pretty much. They're just gonna have to run the ball. They're just gonna have, you know what? Sometimes you're not gonna have the best throwing games or rushing game, but you got to play as the game calls for, right? The game didn't really call for all these crazy big 80-yard, 60-yard, 40-yard passes. It just needed a few plays, play a little defense, and that's how it goes. But going against Washington, they're gonna need to put up some numbers. That defense right now, they're playing with the house money right now. They're going in free. They're going in happy, confident, and Philadelphia has everything to lose in this game.
Hurts was missing reads, missing guys over the middle of the field. Like there's a few that he had great chances to dump it off down on cross routes, on corner routes. AJ Brown just wasn't seem to get it going as the story of the last couple of weeks. Yeah, man, I'm gonna shoot this to you now. Did this win make the Eagles the team to beat in the NFL?
Honestly, no. I don't think this win actually made them the team to beat in the NFL because, yeah, we all know Saquon Barkley did it again, other historic games. I feel like they should play the Rams every game. He's gonna average 200 yards against
Yeah,
these guys.
dominating.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? Their defense actually like put on a good show as well too. 5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, and 10 tackles for loss, and 2 fumbles recovered. But this game, no, this game is not a turning point in the Eagles proving themselves that they are the team to beat in the NFL. Special teams could have cost them the game too because Jake Elliott missed two
Two
PATs
extra
as well
points.
too.
Yep.
2 extra points, yes. But you know what? If the Eagles are going up against the Commanders next week, and Jaden Daniels and those guys, they're good. They're a good all around team. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. If the Eagles are down more than 2 scores, they're not gonna rely on Saquon Barkley to run the ball in every
Absolutely.
possession.
Yeah.
They have to get the run. They have to get the passing game going. You can't expect to have AJ Brown with 14 yards on 2 catches and 0 books read on the sideline, and Devontae Smith with 21 and 4 catches. And but you know what? If the game is going the way how this game went last week against the Rams, I would say just continue to run the ball. You don't need to pass. But you gotta get these guys going. These guys are probably just chilling back, relaxing. All right, let Saquon do what he gotta do, and that's about it. But the passing game wise, I'm really worried about. I'm gonna keep being worried about it until they actually show me something that they can get it going. If the Commanders run up the score next week against these guys are gonna have to rely on Jalen Hurts to throw the ball down the field.
Of course. So yeah, the Eagles' question mark is going to be as the competition gets better and the playoffs get deeper. The ability to get the ball in the air
Mm.
going is going to be their major question. Now on to the final game of Sunday slate. We're gonna have one of our favorite games to talk about. As you can see, man, rocking the Bills hat, trying to rock Bills
Bills
Mafia.
Mafia.
We had the Buffalo Bills defeating the Baltimore Ravens 27-25. Action-packed weekend finale has Allen prevailing to championship game to once again square off with Patrick Mahomes. The story of the game has to be the missed opportunities by Baltimore. The Andrews drops, the fumble, Henry had an early drop, and the two Lamar turnovers continues to be the story of his postseason career. Who do you think is at most fault for the blame for this Ravens? Hamzat?
The most blame, you can't just blame one particular person. They all didn't play their best. They all made little mistakes. There were a couple penalties that were kind of iffy in that game as well too.
Yeah,
That went Buffalo's way. So you know what? Unfortunately, you got to blame the quarterback.
right.
Even if he doesn't make a mistake, he has to take the blame. I know Andrews dropped the most crucial catch I've seen in a long time. I haven't seen somebody do that in a long time.
Yeah,
And for him to, and the fumble he caused, it's tough, man. It's tough. He battled. They all battled. But at the end of it, if you're gonna blame somebody, you gotta blame your QB. You're just gonna have to take it.
of course. So Hamzat's going with Lamar Jackson. Imran, we thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with them too. Lamar Jackson's gonna have to take the blame for this one, man. Can't be the Ravens. This Ravens team was the favorites to win it all this year. He's a potential MVP, another MVP without no Super Bowl appearance as well too. I mean, yeah, the game did start off pretty bad with Derrick Henry having a dropped wide open catch. You had Mark Andrews drop another two
Yep.
wide open
Yeah, he's
catches
had
actually.
two drops in that game. Yep.
He had 2 drops in that game, and Lamar tried to do a little bit too much this game. With that
Oh,
interception, that was on him. That fumble, I
absolutely.
don't know what he could have just had the ball in his hand like this and just fell to the ground and he just fumbled the ball. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's really go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. Go
well, luckily they were lucky that only one of the turnovers turned into 2 points, and that
ahead.
scoop and score by the scoop by not the scoop and score, the fumble recovery by Von Miller. If Justice Hill wasn't so fast,
Run him
Von
down.
Miller would have ran. Von Miller would have ran for a scoop and score easily.
Yep.
But yeah, with Lamar Jackson's playoff woes continuing and losing to Josh Allen again, yeah, this was a definitely Super Bowl or bust year for them, and he's got to take the blame for this one. And he was really like you guys saw in the press conference after how much he was taking the blame and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you know what? And in my opinion, if the Ravens had converted that 2 point conversion, there was still plenty of time for Josh Allen to run that ball down the field
Yep.
and at least get a field goal in that game.
Minute 30. Yep.
Yeah,
Um.
a minute 30. Yeah.
There's another
A
Tough loss, man.
nightmare
Tough
ending
loss
to the
for them.
season.
there's
That's
some
It
right.
other
was a nightmare
takeaways.
ending to the
There's
season.
some other takeaways to take away from this game. I mean, like Imran alluded to earlier, Lamar Jackson trying to do a little bit too much on that fumble recovery. They kind of got away from Derrick Henry. You saw after the half they were down 10-21. Derrick Henry had some big rushes in that, but only finished the game with 16 carries, under the season average. Josh Allen didn't really have to throw the ball much. I mean, he had the two rushing touchdowns, only totaling 127 yards. But yeah, this was definitely a missed opportunity for Baltimore in this one, and the Buffalo Bills are gonna go ahead to take on Mahomes and the Chiefs next week,
Oh
setting up
boy.
another rematch with the two
That's
of the
just
NFL's best.
Clash of the Titans. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
yeah. There's in the other football news, we had the college football national championship game today, as we had the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Good win for the Buckeyes, as they had a pretty terrible start to the year, as they lost to Michigan. They lost to the Wolverines for the fourth year in a row, and there were many speculations of head coach Ryan Day getting fired. So I'm glad that they had the season that they had, and they turned it up to win the championship. And the Fighting Irish, they put up a good fight too. They had a great season as well too. A lot of people had doubted them as well too. And this is actually the first year of the 12-team playoff format in the college football season. So this was a long season for all teams, and the Buckeyes really deserve this title this year.
Yeah, I think me and Amsad were leading Notre Dame before the game, but looks like Ohio State was able to take that one
Yeah,
away.
they got it.
Yeah,
Anyways, guys, that's gonna
yeah,
wrap
they
up
got
the
it.
second episode of the NFL divisional recap. A lot of big games, a lot of entertainment, but we'll definitely check you all out later in the week to go ahead with the two big matchups with the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And on the other side, the big dogs, Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills with another rematch. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Take care, guys. Have a good
Peace.
night.